of module 4. Part 4 of project number 2. Yeah. The first feature of part F.1, fixed order numbers for problems. Yeah. We delayed that problem here. Yeah. At the beginning, when we insert a new problem, we notice the order part is not quite right. Why? Because we changed the problem list order, descending order, and we didn't see the newly added problem is at the top of the list. Because to our users, if a user sees a newly added problem appears on top, then the users will feel very happy because that activity already takes place. All right? Yeah, it's there. So people feel very comfortable. Yeah. So for that purpose, now we need to fix that. All right. In order to fix that, what do we need to do? Yeah. So the basic idea, we need to set the initial order. So for the initial order, we use this property. Initial order for each problem, we will fix this problem. All right. So the order number basically equals the PID number initially. Yeah. Why I emphasize this initial thing? Because later, at some point, if we feel there is a need to change the order, then we can change it. Yeah. And the PID can never change. The PID must be fixed. Yeah. But the order number can be changed if we like to change later. Yeah. All right. So based on that assumption, so let us do the work in problem.dal.java first. Yeah. In order to complete this kind of change, we need 2 queries. So we define 2 query statements. The first, max ID. Second, change order query. The first one, because the newly inserted problem will have the maximum ID. Yeah, we assume that, right? Because auto increment, right? We use the auto increment PID. So that is the newly inserted has the maximum ID. So we find it first. After that, then we define a change order query to make this change. Yeah. So let's look at the detail. The max ID, we use a select statement, but here we use the max function. In SQL, this max function returns the maximum value for here, parenthesis, PID from the problem. Yeah. Very simple. Yeah. The second we will leave to the next page. So now let us write a query method. A query method to, return the maximum ID. So initially, the maximum ID equals 0. Yeah. Then we just run the query because there is no parameter setting, right? Yeah. So we just get the maximum ID for the whole problem. We do not need to pass any parameter to it. Yeah. Then, so for the return result, we expect there is a 1 row returned. So we move the cursor to the first row. Yeah. Then we get that max ID value. Yeah. Then we return it. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. So that is the first query. The second query, to change the order number, we need to define that query statement. This time we use update statement. Update problem set order number equals question mark. Later we pass the maximum ID to it, where PID equals another question mark, also max ID to it. All right. Now the query method, set order number query. Two parameters. The first one, PID for that problem. Second, the order number we want to change. Then, when we set parameters, the first one, the first question mark, that is the order number. To the second question mark, that is the PID. After that, we just execute update. We make the change. All right. So that is the second query method. All right. So this is the step number 2. All right. Then the last step number 3, when new problem is added, we call those 2 methods to get a change. So let's do it in add problem servlet.java. We find a place where right after we add a new problem, then we do this. First, we get the maximum ID, PID, in that table. So that is the PID for the newly added problem. After that, we use that max ID to set that problem order to this initial value. And we complete it. Then, after we return to the page, you will see the newly added problem. It has the largest order number, so it should appear on top of the page. All right, so let us look at the coding part. All right. Let us get to this Eclipse. 2 places we need to add our code change. The first one, we need to add 2 query statement objects. So let us use this instruction file for f.1. All right. So these 2 query prepared statement objects. Then we need to define 2 queries. All right. Max ID query and a change order query. All right. All right. Let us fix the format later. All right. After that, we need to add 2 query methods. Here. All right. Okay. All right. So then let us just fix the format. All right. Okay. Save it. So the first file updating completed. Problem DAO, this one. The second one, servlet. Add problem servlet. Yeah. In this location, right after just a minute. Yeah, not there. All right. Not there. Yeah. Here, right after we add a new problem, we need to do this, these two lines change. All right. Okay, yeah. All right. So after the change, we will see that problem appears at top of the list. Yeah. Let us run this example project. All right. So run as, still, this project. All right. Yeah, so now look at the current. What do we have? The top of the list, 125. Yeah, so the question content like this. Now, let me add a new question. Yeah. Brand new question. All right, a brand new question here. Enter. See, 126, a brand new question. Right? Yeah. So we fix that order problem so we can see the result immediately. All right, so that is this feature.